We set up one microphone here, which is setup 1. It's an AKG 414 with an hypercardioid pattern to collect the general drum kit there. We adopted the same strategy, but we use the equilateral triangle system. So we imagine a triangle going from here, basically at where the seat of the drummer is, and that extends the base of the triangle all the way like the carpet is now. And then you have to imagine that it goes vertical like that, and more or less at this point should be the apex of the triangle. That's where you place the microphone, and then the microphone is slightly tilted to face the snare. That's the position for having a one mic recording of the drum. It will pick up everything. In case you want more low sound of the kick, you need to lower the mic. Be careful with the drummer where he is. That's setup 2. So setup 1, setup 2. Setup 3, which uses 3 microphones. And of the different options that I gave you, I chose the most famous one, Glenn Johns, the producer of the Led Zeppelin. This setup consists in 2 mics to pick up the mini orchestra drum kit. This time not from the back in the center, but one on the right hand side, one on the left hand side. The official one, we should be using 2 U67 microphones like that one, but we don't have it at school. We use a 67 and an 87. That could be an issue because they are not identical, and this setup is designed to have 2 identical microphones on the other side. Pros and cons. What do you do with a setup like that? You will pick up much better than the setup 2 with much more details, that part and this part, so it's richer than one microphone only there. Plus we also add an electro voice here that picks up the sound from the drum kit. Again, the sound for the drum kit, you have to place the hand where you don't feel the hit of the drum directly too much, and randomly this hole is exactly placed in a good point where you can capture the mic without too much of a slap from the kick pedal. No part of the microphone stand, etc., should touch the drum kit, otherwise you get noise. And this is the basic setup. One last thing to say: every stand has been placed. Then I place the mounts to the stands, then I place the microphones, and then I prepared on the floor some XLR ready to be used. Possibly you should coil them in a way they are nice and tidy there, so that the engineer directly coming from the control room can actually play with them more safely without mess of cables all the way to the floor. Last but not least is to set up the headphones for the drummer. You want to have a place, a stand, it can be good, a chair can be good, or whatever you want, where you have the headphones already prepared for the drummer to be able to pick them up and listen to your instructions from the control room. So let's plug them in, and let's see a good routine for doing so. You're using the female part of the XLR to go into the microphones, and make sure that you walk around a little bit the stand, to simply because we don't want people to trip over our microphone. And you make sure you click it until the end, until you hear click, because if it's not in, then you will have loads of problem with your control room engineer. So this is not gonna make it all the way till there, so we will need an extension, but it's ready to be used. And so we'll do that for all of the others. So I'm gonna do it for this one, and make sure when you plug in the cable to not move too much the microphone. If it's moved, you need to put it back in a good position. Similar, I need an extension for this, so I'll leave it in place. Then I do also this one. You need to have all the cables tidy and not creating problems. So you wrap the cable around there, around the stand, and leave it ready, coiled, for some people to pick it up and do the rest of the job. And you can coil it normally for the moment, not in the correct way to store the cable. Then we go on to this one. We do exactly the same job. Okay, I heard the click. I can grab my cable like that, long cable and try to make it go around a little bit, so in a way that doesn't interfere too much. People, you also have these stoppers you can use. I'm not using it now, but you could. This is quite a long cable, so I'm already trying to make it go where the drummer will never interfere with, so it's out of the way, safely placed, and it doesn't disturb anybody. Last but not least, the U67, and I'm going to do this, make it click, and place it in a way that is out of the troubles and nobody can interfere with it. Next bit will be to go in the ties, and in the ties we need to know exactly which microphone is which. So using a tape with the labels and you can write things down, that will be much better than just going randomly and following the cables. So now I'm gonna place this in channel 1, setup 2 in channel 2, setup 3, right, left, kick in this order in channel 3, 4 and 5 into the tie box.